about social media tips for your spa. So tips that you can start applying today. And if this is your first time watching me on YouTube, we're also live on Instagram right now. My name's Ayana. I'm a licensed massage therapist, esthetician, and spa owner. And again, we're going to be talking about social media tips, which is funny because y'all watching me right now, we're on social media. So you can see how integral social media is in our lives. I see Oklahoma. Welcome in. Welcome in. And as always, say where you're watching from. I love hearing where y'all are watching from. I know the last live, I think the last live was 2 weeks ago, and there were people from all over. It was really, really cool. Welcome in. I see a SpaBizSuccess student. Welcome in, Yao. Welcome. Welcome in, Jada. Yeah, go ahead and share where y'all are watching from. We're about to dive right into it. I know some people are still coming in from Instagram and YouTube, and also our free Facebook group, Massage Business Masterminds. Welcome, welcome. Lagos, Nigeria, welcome. Hi. Duluth, Minnesota, welcome in. Cool. I usually go to Minnesota, I guess for the past 3 years, every year, but I haven't gone this year. Let me not get sidetracked. Okay, so we're going to be talking about social media, and y'all already know how I do these lives. I love asking y'all questions and encouraging you all to engage in the chat. So first of all, where are you watching from? But second of all, are y'all on social media for your business, for your spa? Even if you don't have a business for your spa, are you using social media to get clients at wherever you're taking clients at right now? See Dallas by way of Detroit. Welcome in, welcome. But yes, I want to know, are y'all on social media? Are you using it? Is it just something that you have but you don't actively use? What's going on with social media? We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to be sharing 3 tips that will help you dive more into social media. A lot of what I'm saying is going to feel like deja vu to me because I just filmed a YouTube video on this subject, and a lot of what I'm going to mention here in this live was in that YouTube video. So welcome, welcome. All right, so one of these things, let's see. So let's start with showing and selling. So if you were on a previous live of mine when we were talking about how to sell your services, that was a really great video. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. But in that video, I talked about one of the most important things you can do for your business when you have services is to show the service that you have. So show videos, especially. Video is king right now, or should I say queen, but it's really king right now when it comes to promotion, like promotion in really any industry that you can think of should be using video to promote what they're offering. And I'm going to dive into that a little bit more deeply in a moment. Rob said, I do not actively use, literally just started back making an attempt at mobile while military, active duty military. I had to think, what does AD stand for? All right. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because I think that what you just shared is the reality of most business owners or aspiring business owners, is that it's not something they actively use, but it's something that they have. So it's something they have, but they're not actively using it to promote their services or using it as a tool. And what I want y'all to think about is social media is one of these places where we get to advertise for free. A lot of people are using social media really exclusively for business. Of course, there are still people who use it to share their personal life, but a lot of times it's their personal brand, which could lead to business. So it is really okay at this point. It's acceptable. It's normalized. At this point in 2023, when I'm filming this video, to share your promotions on social media or to share your offers, share your services. It's honestly a normal thing at this point. So why are we not using it? Maybe that's because it appears that there's a time commitment. Maybe that's one. And time is often our most valuable resource, even if we're not using it the most wisely. It's still a valuable resource. And I think another reason why a lot of people are not using it is because they believe that it takes a certain level of knowledge to start using it. Maybe they think that they need to be close to an expert on social media to use it for their business, or they think it just doesn't apply to their business. Like these other businesses, these product-based businesses, these e-commerce businesses, it makes sense for them to use social media to share their offer, but for you, a massage therapist, esthetician, spa professional, you might think that it doesn't apply to you. And I want you to reframe that thinking, because there's a lot of unique ways that we could be using social media to grow our practices or even get started. So if you're watching this, and definitely let me know, are you in massage school? Are you a business owner? Are you an aspiring business owner? Are you working at a spa? Feel free to share that in the comments, but regardless, even if you are in school or you haven't started yet, or you don't have a business, and even if you're not even planning to start a business, I highly recommend having some type of social media accounts for your business. And specifically, because when I say social media, that sounds so general, right? Like, which channels are you talking about? I'm talking about Instagram. I'm talking about a Facebook page, which those two are connected. You can connect Instagram to your Facebook. They're owned by each other. And then even YouTube. Even in the most recent months, I've gotten some clients on YouTube because I have shared a lot of my techniques, my massage techniques on YouTube, kind of teaching other people, the possibilities of, the techniques that I use. And that has actually attracted clients in my local area, which blows my mind because YouTube is so international. I see a lot of you from like overseas and like in different countries, but it blows my mind that I'm still able to get local clients, like clients who live in my city, because they found my YouTube video because they were looking for the type of massage that I do. And so especially if you do a specific type of massage, consider putting YouTube videos up. Even if it's not public, you could create a YouTube video and just put it on your website, just to show that you know what you're doing, and to even demonstrate that you know how to do the type of service that your client might be Googling and looking for. I see I run a spa in NYC. That's really amazing. Jada said working at a spa. Okay, so we have a couple business owners and we have a couple people who are working at spas, which thanks for sharing where you're at in the journey, because it gives me more insight of how this content applies to you. Definitely. All right, so back to the first point is showing and selling. So when it comes to social media, I highly recommend just taking time to create videos of you doing what you do, which is more than likely massage, facials, other types of services. So even if you are working at a spa, for example, when I worked at a small business, it was a spa. Sometimes I would take videos of myself not doing the services because I didn't ask anyone if I could film those services. I should have. That's why I'm telling you all this now. But something that I did, I would take clips of me, setting up the table, sanitizing my work area, putting things away, setting up the hot towels, really like the anticipation of about to perform massage. And I would share that on my media, encouraging people to book with me at this spa. So, because I was a 1099 contractor there. And so it was really part of my responsibility to bring people in, because if I brought people in, I would get a higher commission. We talked about this in the last live, talking about different price structures of how you can get paid at a spa. So definitely check that out later. But that's something that that's how I started with it. And even when I started my business in 2018, that short run where I started my business and got very quickly discouraged, at that time, I was sharing my offers on social media, but and I was getting feedback. I was getting people to want to book with me. However, my prices were way too low. So that's another story. So again, I would just recommend having video. So even right now, we're prioritizing, little clips. I have like my clients fill out a photo consent form when they get a massage with us, or before they even get a massage with us, asking them, can we take videos of the service, because it helps us promote, and it also allows me to train my team if I take videos of the services. Most of them say yes. A very small amount of them say no, which is absolutely no problem. And so by doing that, I already have their permission to take videos of the session. I never put faces in them, just out of respect. And if I can cover up any tattoos, I will, just so they're not identified because of the type of massage that I do. And I will take videos, and those can be repurposed into clips, so into reels, into TikToks. Those can be repurposed into shorts for YouTube. They can be repurposed in a lot of different ways. So that's something I recommend, is start taking videos. Even if you don't have any clients at this moment, you could show videos of you in a professional environment working on your partner or your spouse or your friends or even acquaintances or people you met in school, classmates. Something I wish I would have documented my school journey while I was building my clientele, just to kind of create a wait list of clients who wanted to book with me. So how many of you are taking videos at your spa of you doing services because you know you want to repurpose that into content? I'd love to hear, because it's getting a little quiet in the chat. Fascia Fiend, that's a really cool name. Says Chatworth, California, just starting to feel comfortable posting myself, working with sports chiropractor in a gym, here for the knowledge. Well, welcome in, and thanks for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. I'm seeing sometimes you post yourself. Yes. So I would recommend building a database. So what we've done now, because I have more than one team member, we have two team. Oops. There was a little glitch. Anyways, now that we have two team members, so we have two team members and then there's myself. What we have now is a Google Drive specifically for content pieces. So in this Google Drive, there's a Google Drive folder called content, and then we separate it in different sections. So there's one for before and afters, because we do take before and afters, side by sides. And then there's one for basically what we call B-roll. So this is this could be doing a short clip of massage. This could be doing a short clip of facials. It could be really any type of content piece that shows the spa, that shows doing a mobile service, that shows doing really anything. It's like these short pieces. And now if we put it in that drive, our social media VA, which in this case, if you're a solopreneur, it will be you. You'll take that content and then you'll want to upload it to Canva or even straight into Instagram, depending on the quality of the video. And of course, add your caption, or really what I recommend is using Facebook Business Meta Suite. What's really cool about Facebook Business Meta Suite is that they'll let you upload multiple videos at a time, and then you can take your time putting in captions and hashtags and scheduling it well ahead of time. So if you're not launching right now, if you are about to launch and you're getting ready to launch, what you could effectively do is just save all this content, go ahead and schedule it out a month in advance. Maybe you can post 3 days a week. So if we did the math, that's like 12 pieces of content. So if you have at least 12 pieces of content posting three days a week, that's pretty good. To me, I would consider that consistent. And then to make it even easier for yourself, when you post that content and you put it on Facebook Meta Suite, it posts it for you, so you don't have to worry about manually posting it. But in addition to that, let's say you want to be more active on your stories, but once something is posted, you can just put that on your stories. I repost my own content to my stories all the time, just to make things easier, just to make things more beneficial for me. I saw someone in the chat, they said that they work at a chiropractic office. I would honestly want to be featured on, if they have social media, be featured on that social media, or even repost them. Because if you repost them, more than likely they'll repost you, and then all of their clients see you and see your social media, and that's just more exposure, which we'll talk more about that in a moment when it comes to people reposting and stuff. Kim's Therapy said, I would recommend you asking a friend to be your massage muse for content creation. Absolutely. Absolutely. And to go into more detail with that, I'll share what recently happened and what I'm doing currently in my business. What I love about these lives is that I'm able to, share kind of behind the scenes stuff, which I believe is stuff that you all want to see. So even recently, on these videos, I always share that our main source of clientele, and we talked about it in the last live, is Google. And now that I feel that we have gotten to a level with Google where this is like a consistent place where our clients come from, at least new clients, where new clients come from, we're ready to move on to the next marketing source, which is what I recommend to you all is to really focus on one marketing source if you can, depending on your level of experience with it. Focus on it, get really good at it, and then move on to the next marketing source. So now we're trying to move on to Instagram and Facebook, which again, the two are related. So when we post on Instagram, it automatically gets posted to Facebook, like our Facebook business page, for more eyes to be on it. And so recently, since we're, kind of going more into Instagram content, I know we're going to need some really fresh pictures. So photography of a photographer coming to the spa, taking pictures of the team, taking pictures of me, taking videos of like the different services that we have. So something more high quality. There's nothing wrong with the content that we have now, which, we just create on our phone, but we're having a photographer come in and take some pictures of like the actual space and us doing services. And then when I realized we needed to do that, I was like, okay, we're going to need some models. So luckily I had, a good relationship with this photographer, and he might watch this too, but had a good relationship with this photographer, have used him for past projects before. My friends have used him for past projects before. And I didn't even ask him, but he was able to, on his social media, share basically an ad saying that we're looking for two models who can come in to get free services done. And then we're going to take videos and pictures of them getting services done, take their before and afters, like all that stuff. And so that was great because it gave us exposure. And I wrote down pretty much everyone who applied. So everyone in the comments applied to be considered for that. We're not paying anything. We're just paying the photographer. They're essentially getting free services and exposure, like something that they can put on their portfolio if they're a model. And I think what's beneficial about that is the fact that we can reach out to them to be influencers or ambassadors in the future, which that is a whole new level of marketing, having other people market for you. Which is the idea of having an ambassador come in, get services, and share their experience. Like you ever see those TikToks where it's like, I went to so-and-so, I went to this nail bar and this was my experience. That's exactly that person. More than likely, they either got paid to do that or they got free services in order to do that. They became, in a sense, an ambassador for that business. And so you can do the same in your business. You can even, if you needed to, if you don't have maybe a relationship with, someone like a photographer or someone with a large following, you could essentially pay someone a small fee to post something like that on their page for a short amount of time. And then you have all these people who are applying to your business, not applying to your business, but applying to be a model or someone you can work on in your business, someone that you can work with over and over again. And I would recommend choosing someone who has somewhat of a influencer level of influence. So like a small following, a couple thousand or even more, because they're going to repost your business and that is doing the marketing for you. Are y'all following? Because I just went on a whole thing that I was not expecting to get into. And I just want to make sure y'all are still here with me before I move on to the next tip. Everyone? Okay, cool. So the next tip that I have for you, so we just talked about how it's so important to, just making sure, how it's so important to have video. So have video for your spa, even if it's just you and your phone, because our phones are, cameras in themselves. They're like mini computers. But taking videos of yourself, doing your services that you care about, services that you want to advertise, your signature service, and using that and batch creating your content. That is one way to get into this content creation for your spa and promote yourself. So that is one way. And then we talked a little bit about how you can, well, for me, how I am looking to get some professional photos done and also professional videos that we can reuse and use for social media, use for the website, just multi-purpose content, and how we were able to leverage getting a list of models who have applied to be kind of the face of this, to be a part of this, and how in the future, build a relationship and they can become ambassadors or influencers for our business. So that is great. That's a win-win, because not only are they getting like services, but they're able to promote our service to their audience who more than likely listen in that service. They say birds of a feather flock together. Usually your followers are people who align with you in some way. So that is just another strategy that you can use. Let's see. So the next thing that is so important, and this is what I recommend, especially when I work with massage therapists, especially if they've been business owners for a while, and this is actually a mistake I made in the beginning, is do not be afraid to show your face, to show that you are the face of your brand. Even if you don't consider yourself the face of your brand, show your face. Because especially if you do mobile massage, the reason for that is when it comes to services that are so hands-on and so, I hate to use the word intimate to describe massage, but we all know what I mean. Like it's very energetic. It's something that really does require trust. You really want to be able to trust your massage therapist or your esthetician, or really anyone who is handling your body in some way, even your lash tech. You want to be able to trust that they're going to, do a good job and not, mess you up. And so in order to build that trust, what do we usually need, as humans to build trust? Usually we got to see someone's face. We have to see someone's face. We have to, see some type of eye contact. When you shake hands in the business world, it's really great to make that eye contact. Not everyone does that, but yeah, it's really good to do that. So I think the same is for social media, is to build trust through showing your face, showing your team photos. This is something that I've had to learn, and even something that we're working on now, because I just find that it helps you, especially if you use a website to make your bookings. It helps so much to get those bookings if you are showing the face of who is behind the brand. I've seen this with other massage therapists that I've worked with who are building their businesses, and they're wondering, how can they convert more, especially from their website. They're noticing people are going to the website, but they're not noticing people actually booking from the website. So what I recommend in that occasion is to show your face. Have pictures of your face or the face of your team or both on your website. In addition to that, make sure it's pleasant too. So make sure you're smiling. I don't know, we're in a day and age where we take selfies, and I think it's normal to like not smile or to, be like stone faced or whatever. Like, I don't know what that is, but I would recommend when it comes to your online business presence to just show that you're a friendly person. And usually we do that by smiling. So I would recommend having, very pleasant, friendly photos on your website showing your team. And that makes a huge difference. It can make a huge difference in the conversion that you see on your website, or even on your social media. If you use social media to be your storefront, because that's what I consider it, it's almost like the window that you see right before you go into the store. That is how you should consider social media. You want to make sure that you have just really good photos on there. It doesn't even have to be really good, because there's a lot of business owners that I know, they have maybe subpar photo quality, but they're still getting clients and they're still attracting people to their business, and they're still getting DMs. So don't get fixated on the quality. Just make sure that you're doing it, that you're getting those photos, you're getting, friendly photos and showing your team. And so that's something that we're currently working on, getting those team photos scheduled. All right. So lastly, one of the last things, and I see Kim said, so true. Yes, absolutely. And I'll answer this question real quick. Someone on Facebook, for some reason, I can't see the names on Facebook, but I can see that a Facebook user responded. What do you think is the best way to advertise for mobile massage? So I can speak to my experience. It's different for every massage therapist that I've worked with. But for me, it's always been Google. But again, from Google, they're going to go to your website. So that's where you want to have those photos. You want to have those videos. Really build trust and build that social proof. What's great about Google is that you can have your clients leave reviews. And in those reviews, they can mention mobile massage, so that just builds even more trust with someone who is considering working with you. All right. Okay, got distracted for a moment because it shows me that I'm frozen, but I don't think I'm frozen. So yes. Okay, so the next tip that I have for you is, I call this outreach services. So a lot of people believe that when you have social media and you've built this, like let's say you have built your pictures, you've been posting, or you've been letting Facebook, MetaSuite, as we talked about before, posting posting for you. And let's say you've been consistent with that, but a lot of people think that's where it stops. Like you just get to post and then that's it. So what I would recommend is actually reaching out to your ideal clients. And one of the best ways you can do this is by, especially on Instagram, you can, in your search engine, you can type in the name of your city. And when you type in the name of your city, it's going to show you these little tabs. And one of those tabs is called location. So you would click that and then you'll see who's posting. You'll get to see the top posts, so who got like the most likes, and you'll get to see recent posts. So I recommend going through like what people are posting in your city and trying to find people who you think would be a good fit for your services. So one of the best examples I can give is if you work with athletes. I think I saw someone in the chat mention that they work with athletes. If you were to do that, so you go to you're on Instagram, you go to location, you go to your city, you see who's posting. I would recommend going to recent posts because the recent posts are going to be people who are active on Instagram. The top posts are just going to be the most popular photos or videos on Instagram, but that doesn't mean they're active. So going to the most recent posts and looking for things that relate to sports or looking for things that relate to, athletes. A more specific way of doing this strategy is if you were to go through the hashtags. So every city has their own unique hashtags. Sometimes you have to do some digging to find those. I have a YouTube video coming out soon that goes into more depth about this. But even just using hashtag, let's say hashtag Atlanta football. I don't know anything about Atlanta football or anything about football, but rest and assured, if I were to go to hashtag Atlanta football, more than likely football players or people who support sports, all that stuff will pop up, and then I can see the most recent posts. And then what I can do is engage with their content. They're going to see that I engage with their content because we all get those notifications that show us who has interacted with our content, who has liked our posts. They're going to see the name massage in your username. And then they're going to click on you just out of curiosity. Maybe they know they need a massage, or just even that word massage is very, interesting to people, and people get curious. And then they're going to see what you're about. They're going to see all the stuff that you posted that is supposed to represent your brand, supposed to be your storefront for your business. And they're going to see like whatever call of actions that you have on your page, which should be, the book now button. Or they might reach out to you and message you. Maybe they need to learn more about your service, especially if you do something specific or you have a different process for doing massage. So that is the next thing. So actually reaching out and engaging with your ideal clients, that is going to be crucial, because I don't want you to think really in any aspect of business that you just build it and then they come. Like that's not really how it works. At least it's never worked that way for me. So that's what I would recommend. Don't just build the social media presence by posting, but actually reach out to your ideal clients by using local hashtags to do so. Or also just using the location hashtag to figure out who is posting your location and who is a best fit for you. So we talked about some applicable strategies. I didn't even know I was going to get into strategy, but I'm glad that we got into strategy. But we talked about some applicable strategies. But I think something that a lot of people don't talk about, especially when they're giving social media tips, is just like the mindset that it might require to have the confidence to post on social media. Because I think another thing that stops a lot of people is that when it comes to social media, it's definitely the opposite of private. So it's just so out there. It's very transparent. It's very, it represents you. It literally represents you. It represents your business. And for a lot of people, your business is your baby. You want that to be represented right. And so the mindset that I would recommend trying to tap into for yourself is knowing that you're not just doing it for you. Posting on social media, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for the future of your business. It's just important, especially if you don't have the budget to hire a marketing manager or a VA or, help like that. I mean, the reality is you end up being your own marketing manager. That's just kind of the reality. You have to set some time aside as a business owner to do that marketing, to do some marketing efforts. That's usually how we get new clientele, which a new business is usually focused on new clientele. Now, this may not apply to you if you are really focused on returning clientele, so trying to get your retention rates up. There are some other social media tips that might be more helpful for you. But I'm really speaking to those of you who are really needing that new clientele, get things going, to get things moving, so that you can retain those clients and just keep them on a month-to-month or week-to-week basis. So I think that's one of the mindset. It's like seeing the bigger picture of why you're posting this content and figuring out how you can make it easy. I was listening to a podcast recently. It was actually the Gold Digger podcast. What's the name of I can't remember the name of the host at this moment, which is funny because I should know the name. But anyways, I remember she said a quote that was like, do it easy. Like which essentially means just do things easily. So figure out what makes things the easiest for you. If that means taking a 10-second clip when you're just doing your compressions during your session, that way no faces are shown, you're not even showing someone's body, you're just doing compressions, like all that stuff. If it's easy for you to just prop up your phone, get that video, even if it's like the selfie camera of you doing that, so you make sure you're in the shot. And then you just start uploading that to a Google Drive at the end of your shift. Eventually, you're going to have a lot of content that you could repurpose, and share on social media to represent you. Now, if you want more insight to just other things that relate to social media and your spa business, I do have another video. It's really a training. It's a free training. I believe it's an hour long, but don't be intimidated by that because it's very easy to follow, easy to understand. And that's on YouTube. What is it called? I think it's literally called Social Media Strategy for Your Spa. But if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I will definitely link that below so you can easily click on it and find that video. And there's some other videos on there as well. But I want to hear from you all. Do you feel like a little bit more motivated to get started with your social media strategy or start building a social media strategy? Are you feeling a little bit more encouraged to create that social media presence for your business or for your practice? Because again, this doesn't have to be just for business owners. If you are a 1099 contractor somewhere, you probably should be promoting yourself. So are y'all feeling a little bit better about this? I see. How many of your clients are okay with videos / clips of them? So I mentioned earlier how I have them sign a photo consent form. In my knowledge, everyone has signed that except for one person. So I can't quantify how many, but I'll just say like 90%, or even like 99% of people are okay with that, especially if they know it's going to be used for educational purposes, their face isn't shown, and it's for marketing purposes. So why wouldn't they want to support that for a business that they're going to? Danielle from Sacramento said, this location hashtag piece seems really helpful for engaging with potential new clients. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would go one step further and to say, if you did that just 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, first of all, your following will grow, because just because someone doesn't message you or book with you immediately doesn't mean they're not still thinking about it. A lot of times, especially in the beginning of me trying to understand Instagram and Facebook for myself, for my spa, is that people would actually save the content. If you have a business account on Instagram, you can see how many people are saving your content or sending it to someone else, sending a DM. Or there's been occasions where I've seen people in the comments, they'll tag a friend because they know a friend might need that. And you can consider that to be a call to action in your caption to say, oh, tag a friend who might need this. That kind of takes the pressure off of the client or a potential client who's who's like looking at your Instagram posts and the call to action. It doesn't say book now. It's more like tag someone who would need this service or tag someone who desperately needs this. Like that's a great call to action, because not only does that get more eyes on your business, which is a great marketing technique, but if you have comments on your Instagram or on your Instagram posts, usually that puts the post out more. So Instagram will push your content out more when there are comments and there are likes, or there's just some type of engagement. And even better if they DM you, which I'll be talking about in a YouTube videos that is coming out, why you should never close your DMs. But yeah, keep those DMs open. Rob said, yes, seeing and hearing you does give confidence. Actually took your advice on the photographer idea, and I'm about to update my social media. Perfect. Yes, wishing you luck on that photographer idea, because that was excellent. I wish I could. He already took it down, but there was at least like 50 comments on that. 50 comments. So actually, one of my things on my to-do list today is to choose which models I'm going to go with. But also, even the models that I don't go with, I am going to keep the information and reach out to the other people who applied, so that they could potentially be an ambassador or an influencer in the future. One of my most popular videos on YouTube, which has brought me clients even today, was a demonstration I did on lymphatic drainage, and I kind of used that method. So I I don't want to use that word, but I contacted someone that I knew in my network who was trying to be an influencer. She was a small influencer, and I asked her, do you want to be in my YouTube video? I'm showing just a demonstration of how to do lymphatic drainage, and that helped her. I shared her information. She has something on her portfolio, and I'm still getting clients today from that video. So I'm glad that this has been helpful for you all, because if I can do anything to alleviate that frustration about social media, because you ever have that like dissonance of, I need to be doing this, but I don't want to do it. Like, that is very difficult to deal with. And I feel like if you're equipped with the right mindset and also, some strategies hand in hand, that can really help you moving forward when it comes to doing what you need to do for your marketing. Kim said, very informative. Definitely getting some professional shoots and doing more short clips during sessions. Yes. Yeah, do what you have to promote yourself, because marketing budgets, that's expensive. Social media is free. Google is free. Danielle said, I've been watching so many of your videos over the last month. Just left a busy massage envy setting. I'm assuming that's what that means. Massage envy settings, where I was a lead therapist but was treated really poorly by management, and starting private practice Friday. That's so exciting. My 2 weeks are almost fully booked. Oh my gosh. Your profile picture shows you smiling, so I feel like that goes hand in hand. That's awesome. I'm glad that these videos have been helpful for you all. So something that you'll find in the description of this video or in the link in my bio is just more information, more resources. One of the most recent resource that I dropped was a free guide for manual lymphatic drainage. So you'll see that in the description box. So for those of you who are interested in that type of massage, it just gives you an idea of what you can expect when you go into that field, and how you can learn more about getting that continuing education credit from myself. So that's something that you can find there if you find that helpful. I also have a couple of freebies just showing you 20 ways to get clients. I feel like this goes hand in hand. Some of the things that I mentioned in this video, you'll find on that list, but it gives you 20 ways that you can get clients. That's a really popular one that has helped a lot of people. And then, of course, you'll see some wait lists for some programs that we have. So if you've messaged me recently about the group coaching, which we have our group coaching call tomorrow, so excited. I know a couple of students showed up to this live, which is so awesome. Love shouting them out. We have a group coaching call tomorrow, and we're getting close to graduation. But we do have a wait list for those of you who want to go through that same process with me and be in a small group setting, working on your goals and starting your practice from scratch, or rebuilding your practice and making it full-time. That is the whole goal of the program. I'm seeing, with bartering with someone who's more knowledgeable with social media a good option? I suck at social media. To be quite honest, I would recommend really learning social media yourself, as long as you make the time to do so, because oftentimes when we bring other people into our businesses, and there's two parts to this, but oftentimes when we bring other people into our business to do our marketing, they often don't understand our industry. They don't really understand what our clients need to see, what they need to read in those captions. They don't understand certain things about our industry, because we market massage, we market facials. We don't market like e-commerce tools and things like that. So perhaps to get you started, and if you see that energy exchange, because you mentioned bartering, so I'm assuming you mean trading. for services. If you see that energy exchange to be equal, which is a slippery slope, then I say go for it, but still try to understand some of this stuff yourself, because when it is time to hire someone to do your marketing, that's going to make it so much better because you already understand how your social media works, and you're less likely to pay for things that you don't need. Because I've been down that road. I've been down that road before and wasted a lot of money, but I didn't consider bartering. And I honestly don't trade services. So it's up to you. If you feel like the energy exchange is somewhat equal, I say go for it. Trying to think, would I trade services? I've traded massage before. That can be nice, but it's always hard coordinating it. I'd rather just pay for a massage. Yes, I really enjoyed this live today. I'm so happy that you all joined. Again, check out those resources that I have. If you're watching on Instagram, that's going to be in the link in the bio. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to be the description box. If you end up watching the replay, go ahead and say where you're watching from in the replay in the comments, or share your takeaway. I would love to hear your takeaways. And as always, DMs are always open if there's a certain type of content you want to see or a certain subject you want covered. I love that because it makes it easy for me to make videos for you all. So definitely don't be afraid to message me and let me know that there is something that you want to see or a topic that you want covered in those DMs on Instagram. And actually, let me in the Instagram. If you're not following on Instagram, if you're watching on YouTube, let me type this in. It's just going to be Ayana True. And actually, let me type it right here as well. Yes. But we are due to go live next Tuesday at the same time, 12:30. Oh, and last thing, for those of you who are still watching, something that you really might want to do is, if you're not on the email list yet, I highly recommend it, because I'm sharing an email this Friday that has a lot of funding opportunities. I know it's been a while since I sent one of those emails sharing like different grants that you can apply to, business grants, especially for massage therapists. But I found some really good ones for you all. So there's over $50,000 in grants there. So you might want to get on that email list. So send me a message if you're not on the email list. Either way, if you get any of the freebies, you'll be automatically added. So be looking out for that this Friday. I'm looking forward to sharing that newsletter with you all. All right, so it looks like YouTube is spazzing out. So I will see y'all in the next video.